All right, Middle-Aged White Guy Reacts back again today with another video for you. Today's video, all right, we have something special here. This is going to be interesting. We have Knox Hill remixing Mobb Deep's Shook Ones. All right. Either Knox Hill has a big, large brass set on him that he wheels around in a hand truck, or is insane, okay, or both, because you do not remix songs like this. You know, Dax does this, okay, and Dax can pull it off most of the time, right? You know, Dax earned the right, but Knox, really? I mean, come on, man. This is hands down the most iconic, greatest rap beat of all time. Like, everybody knows this beat. You know this beat. You've heard it. Even if you can't place it, you don't know where it's from, you've heard it, you know it, all right? And if you don't, as soon as you hear it, you're going to fall in love with it, because it is perfect. It is the perfect rap beat, all right? And it was made, what, 20, almost 30-odd years ago. Mobb Deep's awesome, okay? So you are not touching the original, right? So Knox, let's just get this out of the way. We know this version cannot be better than the original, okay? The original is untouchable. Can you do it justice? Can you do it justice, though? I mean, that's really all we're talking about, because that's as good as you can hope, all right? You could kind of be in the ballpark and do it justice, all right? So let's see if Knox Hill can do Shook Ones by Mobb Deep any justice. You know, and I have a shit ton of respect for Knox Hill. Hands down, the best, by far and away, the best reactor out there. And, you know, I started watching his stuff when he had 50,000 subscribers, and I was hooked. The first reaction I watched from him. So, you know, big respect to this guy, but I don't care how much I respect you, man. There's no way you can pull this off. So we're just going to get that out of the way, all right? So I'm going to rip you. No, we ain't ripping you, man, because, you know, I can't rap. So, I mean, who am I to say anything? But at the same time, if you're putting yourself out here on Shook Ones, man, yeah, you better be coming. You better be coming. So let's see what you got. Love it.
Shook ones. Shook ones. Yeah. Hey, check it, man. Been to hell and back with the vouchers. You bastards who doubted and counted on cashing your ass. It's actually I caught your bets. The house shit, I ain't dead yet. I double down and paid your hitters. Next time you see me wear a vest. Reading dead season.
Oh, okay, Knox. Okay, man. All right. Kind of interesting how he came. He came pretty hard right there. You know, Mobb Deep, I believe, were from the South. I think they were from Atlanta, right? So they kind of took their time getting into their flow, right? He jumped right in off the deep end. Let's go, Knox. What do you got, man? What are you talking about here?
Shook ones. Shook ones. Yeah. Hey, check it, man. Been to hell and back with the vouchers. You bastards who doubted and counted on cashing your ass. It's actually I caught your bets. The house.
Oh, God. All right, so he's talking about he went to hell and back and has the vouchers. Something about how, like, they're waiting to get cashed out. Hold on. Get all complicated, man. You counted on cashing your ass out. Hold on. You counted on cashing your ass out, but he called your bets. All right, he's been to hell and back, and he has the vouchers. So, okay, man. Okay.
Vouchers, you bastards who doubted and counted on cashing your assets. Actually, I caught your bets. The house won shit, I ain't dead yet. I doubled down and paid your hitters. Next time you see me.
The house won. He doubled down. He ain't dead yet. Okay. So he's been to hell and back. You know, he has the vouchers. It's got the proof, right? All right. He validated his parking. Yeah, they're just planning on cashing out at the end, right? You know, they're gonna keep their chips on the table. They'll just cash out at the end. So he called their bets. He doubled down. The house won. All right, they're left with nothing. Okay, man. Okay, that's a strong setup. Let's go.
Actually, I caught your bets. The house won shit, I ain't dead yet. I doubled down and paid your hitters. Next time you see me wear a vest. Reading Dead Sea scriptures on a red brief. Fishing up and debt free. Living in your mental. Thanks a million for the rent checks.
Oh, he's been debt free. Living in your head. Thank you for the rent checks. Hold on. There's some Dead Sea Scrolls in there or something. Hold on, man.
I double down and paid your hitters. Next time you see me wear a vest. Reading Dead Sea scriptures on a red brief. Fishing up and debt free. Living in your mental. Thanks a million for the rent checks.
He's been debt free. Thanks a million for the rent checks because he's living in your head. All right. Damn, Knox. Okay, man.
On a red brief, fishing up and debt free, living in your mental. Thanks a million for the rent checks. The next dude who tests me, check one. Just let him know where to send a check to.
Oh, the next man who tests me, tell him check one. All right, like check one. Tell him who to send the check to. That's nice, man. That's nice. I like that. I like that. Nice little wordplay there.
And the next dude who tests me, check one. Just let him know where to send a check to. Hot shoe, I'm very blessed, but very sick. So
sorry for pausing. I mean, I'm not. You know I'm not. Now I forget what he said, and I forget why I paused. Oh, well, we can go back and then pause again. Hold on. Check this out.
Know where to send a check to. Hot shoe, I'm very blessed, but very sick. So
Hachu, I'm very blessed. He sneezed. Hachu, I'm very blessed. All right, man. This is nice so far. I'm liking this. I am really liking it.
Test me, check one. Just let him know where to send a check to. Hot shoe, I'm very blessed, but very sick. So wear a mask. I could back
he's he's very blessed, but very sick, so wear a mask. All right. You know, is he very sick in his head? Or is he very sick, like, with his flows, when his rap game? You know, it kind of could be like a double like that. Or, you know, it could mean a bunch of things. Like, literally sick with, you know, I'm sure, you know, COVID's on everybody's mind still. So, who knows? That's nice, though. We like it.
Send a check to hot shoe, I'm very blessed, but very sick, so wear a mask. I could back a Morgan 40 stories quicker than Kevorkian with 40 C's of pencil with morphine dripping, and of course prescriptions flood the streets with more.
Oh, something about Kevorkian with 40 cc's of Pento. Was it sodium pentothal is what they use for lethal injections, and a morphine drip and shit. Hold on. What's he talking about here? Because he's talking about stuff.
Send a check to hot shoe, I'm very blessed, but very sick, so wear a mask. I could back a Morgan 40 stories quicker than Kevorkian with 40 C's of Pentothal.
Hold on, he can do what to 40 stories?
But very sick, so wear a mask. I could back a Morgan 40 stories quicker than Kevorkian with 40 C's of pencil with morphine dripping, and of course prescriptions flood the streets with more addictions quicker than the FDA with Oxycontin. Count your chickens, I could turn the Big Apple rotten. The biggest cartel since Reagan hit the streets with crack. This is that.
Ooh, is he talking about slanging and shit? Hold on.
I could back a Morgan 40 stories quicker than Kevorkian with 40 C's of pencil with morphine dripping, and of course prescriptions flood the streets with more addictions quicker than the FDA with Oxycontin. Count your chickens, I could turn the Big Apple rotten. The biggest cartel since Reagan hit the streets with crack. This is that slap that you need, make the speaker smack. If you need a dap, I got connects that can leave a bag. Used to flip good weed, had a good thing. Then my boy Jay said, K, have you?
Okay, I'm trying to follow along here. Like, you know, I know he kind of grew up in a rough area and stuff. And, you know, he might not have always done the legal things, okay, to get by. I'm learning something about him. If this is, you know, him talking about himself here, because it sounds to me like he was slanging some shit. All right, he's throwing some pills around, slinging some herb, definitely. So let me hear this. Hold on.
So we're morphine dripping, and of course prescriptions flood the streets with more addictions quicker than the FDA with Oxycontin. Count your chickens, I could turn the Big Apple rotten. The biggest cartel since Reagan hit the streets with crack. This is that slap that you need, make the speaker smack.
Okay. Now, is it a double? Is he talking about like he's creating music? He could give it to you, and it'd be like the crack epidemic. Is what does he say here? He'll slap.
Since Reagan hit the streets with crack. This is that slap that you need, make the speaker smack.
Slap that you need, make the speaker slap or whatever. I don't know. Let's let him go. Let's see if we can figure this out. All right.
Since Reagan hit the streets with crack. This is that slap that you need, make the speaker smack. If you need a dap, I got connects that can leave a bag. Used to flip good weed, had a good thing. Then my boy Jay said, K, have you heard of Kane? I said, Jay, have you heard of the murder game? I'll pass. Class.
Okay, he is. He's selling weed. He's saying, hey, I used to flip it. And, you know, flip a nose or whatever, you know, however far up he got on the chain. And his buddy's trying to put him on to coke now. So he's like, you know, have you heard of the murder game? No, man, I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I'm not interested. Will he be? I mean, because this is just the first time the guy's asked him. You know, we know this story. If this is the way it's going to go, we know this story. The friend's going to be persistent, right? It's interesting. If this is a true story, I mean, I'm assuming Knox is talking about his history here. I have to assume that. It sounds like.
Hey, have you heard of Kane? I said, Jay, have you heard of the murder game? I'll pass. Used to skip class and ride around with split like we were whipping ass. Till one day some six caught us flipping down on Brooklyn Ave. Knew that they were crooked, started looking in the back. Took my bags, look at that, split it in half, then they laughed. Shit, confiscated, you lucky you ain't incarcerated. Could've caught the station, but you on probation.
Oh. This is wild, man. He's telling us a story here. I need to go back and hear this again. But it sounded like it was a sting operation. When he went to sell pot to the cops, they just split it up between themselves or whatever. And just, hold on. Hold on.
Jay said, K, have you heard of Kane? I said, Jay, have you heard of the murder game? I'll pass. Used to skip class and ride around with split like we were whipping ass. Till one day some six caught us flipping down on Brooklyn Ave. Knew that they were crooked, started looking in the back. Took my
Hold on.
One day some six caught us flipping down on Brooklyn. Used to skip class and ride around with split like we were whipping ass. Till one day some six caught us flipping down on Brooklyn Ave. Knew that they were crooked, started looking in the back. Took my bags, look at that, split it in half, then they laughed. Shit, confiscated, you lucky you ain't incarcerated. Could've caught the station, but you on probation.
All right, so yeah, he was selling. Some undercovers came up to him. He knew they were dirty. He had a feeling the way they were acting. And they took his stuff and said, you know, hey man, we're lucky. You're lucky. This is it. We're gonna take this shit. We're not gonna call get our boys down here and arrest you, take you to the station, you know, have you end up in jail on probation and shit. So that's some shit, man. That's some shit, Knox. All right, dude.
Shit, confiscated, you lucky you ain't incarcerated. Could've caught the station, but you on probation. So we'll confiscate the stash and
true. You hear that? You hear that in the back? Just that little true. Like he you know, he knew at that moment, like, man, they got me by the balls here. They got me by the short hairs. There's nothing I could do.
Bags, look at that, split it in half, then they laugh. Shit, confiscated, you lucky you ain't incarcerated. Could've caught the station, but you on probation. So we'll confiscate the stash in confidence and call it your exoneration.
Oh, we'll confiscate the stash in confidence or whatever and call it your exoneration. All right, all this shit's ours now. Just go on your way, man. Nice. You got lucky, dude.
But you want probation.
I mean, as shady as that is, I'd prefer that to them actually doing what they were supposed to do in that situation, you know? So you got lucky, man. Like I said, as shady as that is and as wrong as that is, you got fucking lucky, dude.
Laugh shit. Confiscated. You lucky you ain't incarcerated.
Yeah.
Call the station, but you on probation. So we'll confiscate the stash in confidence and call it your exoneration. Now scram, we ran, but damn, I'm lit. My plans were canned, and man, I'm sick. Had to track.
All right, so he ran away and like he's sick now because his plans are fucked. You know, he probably, I mean, I was young once. All right, I'm aware of how this game goes. Typically, you would get it fronted, get rid of it, go back, pay for it, and get another one fronted. All right, so if somebody took that, now you have to come up with however much money that was supposed to cost. And, I mean, that could be worse than just hanging out in jail for a few days. I mean, you could get in some real deep shit that way. That's crazy.
We ran, but damn, I'm lit. My plans were canned, and man, I'm sick. Had to track my plug, tell him that I'm skint. Hit him on that two-way burner. He told me I got 2 days and hurry.
Yup, I knew. I knew he got that fronted. That's
that I'm skint. Hit him on that two-way burner. He told me I got 2 days and hurry. Needed funds, and I wasn't one for trapping. Too short to book.
All right. So what I say, he had it fronted to him. He had it fronted. And now he owes his guy money. The guy said 2 days, man. You got 2 freaking days to figure it out. That sucks. Dude, that sucks, man.
Burner. He told me I got 2 days and hurry. Needed funds and I wasn't one for trapping. Too short to ball. I imagine what could happen if I turn to rapping. Call my boy Max, told him, give me a bunch of tracks. I don't play no instrumentals. I just say the shit I've been through with the page with lead and pencils. Many bars
can I make money rapping, basically? All right, so hey, he said, hey, throw me some instrumentals. I'm just going to talk about my life. I'm just going to talk about me, what I do, what goes on, how I feel, whatever. He's going to spit truth on the microphone and see what the fuck happens. All right, Knox.
Tracks, I don't play no instrumentals. I just say the shit I've been.
So, I mean, this is, okay, so obviously, you know, this is, I'm assuming an abbreviated version of the events that went down. So he was making money by hustling. Okay, we'll just say it's hustling. He was slanging. He almost got busted, but was dealing with some crooked cops who then just took his shit, let him off. But now he owes his guy that he got that from money, because when you're slanging, typically you don't put your own money up front. You get it fronted to you, get rid of it, pay the guy back, right? So now he owes this guy money. A guy tells him 2 days, man, or you know, I'm fucking you up, basically. And, you know, however he resolved it, he, you know, got him the money or got his ass beat, whatever happened, he decided, hey, all right, I can't do this to make money. So let me try something else. Okay? Homeboy over here, whatever your name is, I forget what he say, Mike or something like that. Just give me some instrumentals, and I'm just going to lay shit down on it. I'm just going to talk real. All right? It's worked for him. I mean, you know, I don't know the guy's financial situation, but I mean, he has a good following on YouTube. He's making music. I mean, he's doing what he wants to do. You know, whether he's just scraping by or has a ton of money in the bank doesn't matter, man. You know, if you're doing something that you love and you could focus on that and be fine, you know. That's kind of the goal, you know. So, all right, man. Let's go.
Call my boy Max, told him, give me a bunch of tracks. I don't play no instrumentals. I just say the shit I've been through with the page with lead and pencils. Many bars or incidentals. Let it rain, I kept it simple. Poured this pain into my mental till it made sense.
Poured this pain into something.
Incidentals. Let it rain, I kept it simple. Poured this pain into my mental till it made sense.
Poured this pain like into his mental until it made sense. All right, until it made sense, like, you know, pouring out his pain until it makes sense to him, but until it also makes sense, like dollars and cents. That's a nice double, man. Sneaky one. Sneaky little double.
I kept it simple, put this pain into my mental till it made sense. Shook ones on this back and forth. I ain't meek, I'm coming for the mills like Michael Rappaport. Some ask me what I'm rapping for.
Fuck Michael Rappaport. What are you saying about him? Hold on.
Bars or incidentals, let it rain, I kept it simple. Put this pain into my mental till it made sense. Shook ones on this back and forth. I ain't meek, I'm coming for the
shook ones until it's back and forth. Nice. Okay.
Put this pain into my mental till it made sense. Shook ones on this back and forth. I ain't meek, I'm coming for the mills like Michael Rappaport. Some ask me what I'm rapping for.
I'm coming from the mills like Michael Rappaport, but he said mills like meals like Michael Rappaport, maybe. I mean, hey, I just imagine that sloppy fuck just sitting down like hammering, Little Caesar's pizza all day. So maybe that's what he was meant, maybe that. I don't know.
Shook ones on this back and forth. I ain't meek, I'm coming for the mills like Michael Rappaport. Some ask me what I'm rapping for. Shit, I remember when I was so broke, I couldn't give a fuck. Now I got gold diggers. I still couldn't give a fuck. Till the label bitches back up.
When he was poor, he doesn't give a fuck. Now he's got gold diggers, don't give a fuck. Tell him the labels get, back the fuck up, whatever. Nice. All right, man.
Now I got gold diggers. I still couldn't give a fuck. Till them label bitches back up. I took them tracks and burned them down into a CD. Then I sold them from my trunk. I lay my
He took his tracks, burnt them on a CD, and sold them to from a truck. So screw these label companies. I don't need distributors. I don't need nothing. Give me a CD burner, a PC, a stack of blank discs. All right, and I'm gonna burn as many as I can, and I'm gonna hang out outside on the back of my truck and just sell as many of these as I can.
Back up. I took them tracks and burned them down.
He hustled. He hustled. I mean that's straight. That's like hustling, like hard. Like that's promoting yourself, putting yourself out there. I mean, imagine like just taking something that you made, like music that you made, going out and soliciting people to buy it from you. Not just like putting it in a store and having people pick it up off the shelves, but like actively working people over to try to get them to buy it from you. That's insane.
Still couldn't give a fuck till them label bitches back up. I took them tracks and burned them down into a CD. Then I sold them from my trunk. I laid my lines in parking lots and told them
his trunk, whatever.
Took them tracks and burned them down into a CD. Then I sold them from my trunk. I laid my lines in parking lots and told them that I had to bump. I made in 2 days what I would have made inside a month.
All right. He said he's laying his lines down in a parking lot, and he tells him he has the bump. Okay, it's a double. All right, lines in a parking lot and bumps, cocaine references, and then also the bump. If his music has nice bass lines in it, you have a nice system in your car, you're gonna be bumping that shit, right? So he has the bump. Okay, he's parked between those lines over there. Just come on over here out of the trunk of my car. Got the bump for you, right? And he made, what do you say, 2 times what he would have made. 2 times what he would have made in a month in like a day or something like that, selling CDs instead of doing what he was doing before, which was pushing illegal drugs. So this is doing something legal now, making more money than when he was selling. So hey, that's a good move all around, man.
My lines in parking lots and told them that I had to bump. I made in 2 days what I would have made inside a month.
2 days what he would have made in a month.
Take his ass out to brunch, I'll get the biscuit. I'm pinning these favorite pictures on canvas, so candidly it's candid how demanding me expense all this insanity, no vanity. How can it be that this MC just does it to be free? Watch how the tongue hands flow, so lend an ear. I'm the young Van Gogh with no soul in the young man's.
That is all nice. That was all nice, man. I really like that. I'm grabbing at the wrong cup here. Hold on. Let me take some of these empty ones up, huh?
It's flow, so lend an ear. I'm the young Van Gogh with no soul in a young man's role. I'm just planning out the seas. I hope I see my daughters grow. That's real tough. The fans gave my homie 30 because they want to see him ride. I tried to tell him stick with green, but he was on a different plot. He and I had picked a team, and yet they picked him on the
Hold on. He ain't finished, man. He ain't finished with this story. Hold on.
Lend an ear. I'm the young Van Gogh with no soul in a young man's role. I'm just planning out the seas. I hope I see my daughters grow. That's real tough. The fans gave my homie 30 because they want to see him ride. I tried to tell him stick with green, but he was on a different plot.
Feds gave his homeboy 30 years. Knox tried to tell him to stick with the green, man. And his buddy didn't want to. I wonder if it's the same guy who was trying to get him to sell Kane earlier in the song. He probably went on to get in that game. And even though Knox is like, dude, just be happy making the money you're making off the green. All right. Don't go into anything heavy that's going to, carry big sentences. I don't know if he put it like that, but he just said, stay away from that shit, whatever. He goes and does it anyway. Gets busted, maybe gets up the ladder a little bit. Gets pinched. Busted. 30 years now. 30 years. Damn, man. That's,
Gave my homie 30 cause they wanna see him ride. I tried to tell him stick with green, but he was on a different plot. He and I had picked a team and yet they picked him on the spot. We lifted from the same yard. Difference is that his is now rigged inside a box. Sometimes I sit back and think if that was made with cars, the Lord knows it. I'd rather go out shooting cause I swear I'm claustrophobic. But
oh, God, man. Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm sick with green, but he was on a different plot. He and I had picked a team and yet they picked him on the spot.
Him and I had picked a team. All right, so he picked their teams, basically. I don't know if he's saying, hey, I picked, I'm just selling a little bit of green here. I'm selling the cane. All right, so they made their choices. They kind of are doing their things, and
from the same yard. Difference is that his is now rigged inside a box.
they got picked up from the same yard. All right, they're saying they're doing, they grew up together. They're from the same area. They got picked up from the same yard. They got busted at the same time, the same spot, whatever, maybe, or similar, or same city, whatever, same time frame. He got busted with his green. They just took it, tell him go on his way. All right, you're small potatoes, man. I'm gonna take your shit. Get out of here. His buddy obviously was not small potatoes. Was at least big enough to warrant a little bit of attention. And considering what he was pushing, they weren't having that shit. So they're like, hey, man, you're coming with us. You're doing 30. Ugh. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. How just that decision. You're both doing fucking wrong shit that you shouldn't be doing. But you happen to be selling a plant where, the other guy's selling a heavily processed plant, and it's a bigger sentence, man. It's just that look at that difference. Look at that difference. All right. If he made one decision different back when his friend first asked him, we're not here today. We're not here today. Nobody knows who this guy is at that point. He's just another statistic. It's insane.
They picked him on the spot. We lifted from the same yard. Difference is that his is now rigged inside a box. Sometimes I sit back and think if that was made with cars, the Lord knows it. I'd rather go out shooting cause I swear I'm claustrophobic, but
he already said it. So if you don't understand that part, that's why I initially reacted to kind of big there at the end. And that's a very heavy statement. That's a very heavy statement. He's saying if the roles were reversed, basically, if he was the one who was getting popped for the for pushing coke, he would have went out shooting because he's claustrophobic. He isn't going to go sit in jail for 10, 20, 30 years. He would have just went, oh, dude. This is crazy, man. It's deep. All right. Mobb deep. Knox is going deep. So, all right, man. Let's go.
if that was made with cars, the Lord knows it. I'd rather go out shooting cause I swear I'm claustrophobic, but I picked a different path. I don't know if it's right, I just know that it's the road that helped me turn on these lights.
And that's exactly basically what I just said. He picked a different path. It wasn't necessarily the right one. He doesn't know if it's right, but it helped him keep on the lights. All right. It worked out just enough in his favor to get him to a point where he could start making music and started making money off music and you know, doing other things that he enjoyed doing that were legal. Yeah. Wow.
Path. I don't know if it's right, I just know that it's the road that helped me turn on these lights. So if you living on EBT and you feel like you about to snap, know that there's a different track than always going for broke. I got the raps that'll nourish your soul. I trained hard and I'm back with the cold. The world's cold, but I'm back with the smoke. Let's take it off, man.
World's cold, but I'm back with the smoke. Come on, man.
I trained hard and I'm back with the cold. The world's cold, but I'm back with the smoke. Let's set it off, man. Yeah. And this is only the warm-up. Wait till we make shit official. Some of y'all been talking foul with me for way too long, man. Bet you wanna sit back and just watch. Nasty Knox. Shout some Mobb. Butterfly effect is coming. I'm out.
Nice. That was freaking awesome. It's crazy that, you know, like, for the first like minute or so of that song, like I'm like into the song, like I'm getting hyped. And then when he starts like really getting into his message and the story and the meat of the song, it's like the music went away. And I was just focusing in on his lyrics and what he was saying and the story he was telling. And, you know, to make me essentially stop focusing on this song and this beat to listen to your words and to be so engrossed in your words that I don't even realize I'm listening to this song anymore is impressive, man. That's damn impressive. This is a really good song. It's a really good song. I ain't gonna try to rate it against the original or anything like that, you know, but wow, man. That was good. Damn good. That'll do it though. That'll be the reaction. Middle-aged white guy is out. Peace.